Hi, it's Book Chick again, and I am here to tell you about the books that are coming out in January. I have received these through NetGalley, and well, I'm gonna read them all through NetGalley. Yeah. So the first one comes out on January 12th. It is called Alone by Megan E. Freeman. It is a middle grade novel, so I believe it is for grades 5 and 6. Um, and basically, the summary of the plot that I read, this girl wakes up and it's like everyone is just gone. She has found no one in like her whole town, and so she has to, I think she's 12, so she has to figure out how to like survive on her own. And she starts obviously like looking for other people, and so she starts traveling and looking for like other signs of people. And so we follow her through that. So that just sounded really interesting. It's kind of dark considering it's for 5th and 6th graders, so I'm interested to see how dark it is. Like if it's like maybe more like a teen novel, like if it's so dark that maybe it would be better for teenagers. Um, but I'm really excited to read it. It sounds really good, really interesting. I'm interested to see what like her inner monologue is like, and I think this, I don't remember her name, but I think the summary also says she's like doing all this with her dog, but like there's no one else. She hasn't found anyone, so interested in that. The next book is called Lana's War, or Lana's War, which comes out also on January 12th. It's by Anita Abriel, and I actually already read this and I absolutely loved it. It is about a young woman who is surviving through the Second World War, and pretty early on, she witnesses her husband's murder at the hands of a Nazi Gestapo officer. So yeah, it's dark real fast. But then she is given the opportunity while she's mourning, because she has nothing, like nothing else to lose basically, because it was her and her husband. She does, her mom is still alive, but and she cares very much for her, and she is in Paris as well. This is set in France. So, but her mom is like the only thing she has left to live for. So she's like, and so she hears from one of the nuns that there is something she can do to help the war efforts, and she takes it. So basically, she is sent to the Riviera as a spy, and her job is to flirt with the Nazis and Gestapo officers to get information about when the next raids on Jewish neighborhoods are, or like the next raids on hotels where Jews are staying. And so that is what she's doing to help. And throughout the novel, she is pretending to be um, her like partner in this business. She's pretending to be his mistress, and so people are like making all sorts of assumptions about her and everything, and she has to like kind of learn how to deal with that, because up to this point she's been a married woman. But it was really, really good. I won't say too much more because I don't want to spoil it, but I really enjoyed this because like obviously the plot was really good. It was very historically accurate, but I also enjoyed it because the writer made Lana like a really strong woman. Like even though her husband died and she witnessed that his murder, she was so strong and resilient and found a way to survive, and found a way to not stop the war, but like at least prevent a few people from dying. And I also really enjoyed that she was smart. She was studying chemistry before her husband was murdered, and her dream was to open her own cosmetics company. So I really, really love that because women still were not often in college at this point. It was still pretty rare, especially in a degree like chemistry. That was almost unheard of. Like, so that was really, really cool to me that the writer made her so strong and smart, and just it was awesome. So definitely pick that up if you like historical fiction. Um, the next book is Meet Me in Bombay by Jenny Ashcroft, and that comes out on the 19th. So this is set in Bombay. It's set in colonial India. It is 1913, I believe. And the main character, I think her name was Elizabeth. Let me double check. Madeline. Her name is Madeline. So it is 1913, and this is a romance novel. Surprise, surprise. I seem to read a lot of those. Um, but Madeline is homesick for London, and she doesn't want to be in Bombay, but she is, and she has to be there for some reason. It didn't really say in the description, but she has to be there, and she doesn't really want to, but she meets a guy, of course, and he shows her how much fun Bombay can be and like all the different things that you can do in India that you don't have access to in London simply because the culture is so different or like the climate is different. And so it just sounds like a really fun romantic read. And I'm hoping that the descriptions of like a warm climate make me feel better because I do not like winter. I would totally go live in the south if I could. I much prefer warmer weather, so I love reading about like summer and like warm places during the winter time. But that is all the books that come out in January that I am excited for. Well, except maybe there might be one more. Let me double check. Yes, there is one more that comes out in January, so it comes out on January 5th. It is called Nick by Michael Farris Smith, and it is about the main character, or the narrator, not the main character, the narrator, I get, or maybe he is. He's kind of the main character. I mean, but he's also the narrator in The Great Gatsby. So his name is Nick Carraway, and it is, I think, like about his life, not necessarily during like what was happening during The Great Gatsby, but like it's about his life, and I am really excited for it. It's not written by F. Scott Fitzgerald, but like I said, it's written by Michael Farris Smith. It just sounds really, really good, and I love The Great Gatsby. So I'm definitely going to be picking that up either at my library or I might order it from Amazon. We'll see. But that is all of the books that come out in January. So super excited about those. Um, I'll leave them in the description box below if you want to check them out. But that is all. So go ahead and hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again.